Coming at you live from Casino Guitars, Jonathan Robinson.
I'm here.
Baxter Clement.
He's here.
Avengers Assemble. Woo! We've done it. It's we're talking about all sorts of fun things like Epiphone, Squier, Fender, Gibson. What should they do to make the brands more accessible or not, or should they keep it the same as they're doing?
Always the same.
Always the same.
Never change.
Well, we're
If I've
talking
learned anything from my father.
from your father, and the opposite of from your family, because you're if you have a wife, which I think you do, you
Probably still do.
That's a constant flux of change.
I did when we started recording.
That could be ended now. The phones have been blowing up on the text.
I keep waiting. I know the hammer's coming any day now.
Soon, yeah. I'm expecting an end as well.
The other foot's gonna drop. There you go.
Good news is more guitars to be bought.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely. I'm probably gonna move in here when that happens.
It's a commune here, brother.
Okay. All right.
So Fender has Squier.
Yep.
Fender has Fender
They do.
Mexico.
Yes.
You know, Gibson has Epiphone. Gibson has Gibson America.
Don't forget Kramer.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
Just kidding. That's
not really.
it's irrelevant.
Well, I mean, we can get into Fender and like Jacksons and
Right.
EVH and like Gretsch and all, but we're just talking about like
No.
the big boys at
Turn
this
it
moment.
down. Yeah.
Just going because a lot of people will ask us like about like, you know, is Gibson going to build overseas, or are they going to build in Mexico ever? I'm like, we obviously don't know, but
Never stopped us from answering that.
that's right. I snorted. I made a
fine.
snort.
It's good.
Oh, it made me
Good
happy.
snort.
It was a good snort. It was like solid. It was a nice pitch. Like wow.
Yep.
But no, it's the thoughts on it. Like, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Do we need to keep Gibson pure? Or can Gibson, because like Fender, by pivoting to build some other pieces in Mexico, it bridges the gap between the Squier line and the USA build line to have an affordable point in there. It's true.
I mean, I think there was a lot of years in my early playing life where that seemed way more attractive to me than a Squier. Like having a made Mexico Fender that said Fender on the headstock, that just seemed more iconic. Like for whatever reason, psychologically, it tied me to the history of it. You know what I mean? Like it seemed more
100%
real.
agree with that. It's weird, isn't it?
It is
now
weird.
I've sort of flipped the older I've gotten. And also the price of a Fender Mexico piece is
Changed a bit.
I mean, $800 to get in now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, $799 and 99 cents.
No map
That'd be
violations. Don't go crazy.
We're not saying 800.
No.
But that's a lot of flipping money.
I mean, it's,
so that's
for
not an
again.
entry point to me anymore.
No.
You're a new guitar player. That's not, unless you're a grown up.
Right.
That has grown up funds, which is really fun when you reach grown up money point in your life. Like you're like, I can.
One day I'm gonna get there.
No, it's like,
I keep waiting.
I remember like when I was in New York, I bought like an ice shaper. And they're like, what's an ice shaper? Well, there's this Japanese grocery store across the street from my apartment. And it had like this giant like shape of a bear that you just grind it. And they spelled it SHABER on the box. It's probably a misspell. But it's ice shaper. And I could just like shave ice. And I did it like once, and I just kept it on my counter in my kitchen because I had adult money. I had 25 spare dollars to buy this plastic thing. And I loved it.
That is a big transition in one's life.
It
When
is,
you're like,
right?
oh yeah, $30. I remember when $30 was a lot of money, and I was like, oh God, Christy, do not spend $30. But now it's like, $30.
Like Sean, like he works here too. Like he years ago, like when he had $30 in his bank account, we all been there. And now he's like, you know, he has a bank account with money in it. It's weird.
Very strange.
But $800 is still a lot of flipping money.
$8 is still, yeah.
To be honest, since the Squire's got you covered at like that sort of $250 range, and like you can get some of the, like the even. There's some stuff below that I don't even consider in that Squier range. It's like it's Squier, but it's not.
But
It's let's say like $250, $229 is your bare minimum. But that's an affordable range to get into a guitar.
it is.
A decent guitar.
That's a great price point. Yeah.
Epiphone doesn't exist in that world right now. They
not
do,
the same.
but it's like, I mean, this is my opinion. A low end Squier is way better than a low end Epiphone.
I would agree 1,000%.
1,000%. It's like our math skills just depleted to zero. It's not a possibility. No, but you play those like the $99 Epiphones. You literally have to get like surgery afterwards to heal the wounds from the sharp frets.
The stitches across your fingers. Yeah.
Like you might lose a finger. It's like that bad guy in the Gentleman movie, the spy movie, the girl that had like the amputee legs that she could cut people's heads off with her legs.
Oh yeah.
Distinguished Gentleman, whatever that movie was.
Oh, what is that?
I don't remember. It's great.
The Kingsman.
Kingsman. New one coming out. A prequel. Looks great, actually. Yeah, dude, it looks awesome. Because the sequel was a little bit of whack. That wasn't
to be one of our Tuesday movie nights.
With G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra. No, that was the old one. The Snake Eyes prequel.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Origin stories. 100% we're into that. Is tonight Tuesday? No, it was last night.
It was.
Missed it. Anyway. Where were we? Guys, lost track. Oh, yeah.
How much better Squires are than Epiphone?
I just kept thinking about the girl cutting people's heads off. I was like, still, she was beautiful, too. Great movie. Great finale. Sorry, distracted again.
Blade legs.
Yeah, Squires, they've got the formula down for low.
I would say so.
And up to that 450 range, the new modern contemporary ones and the classic vibes,
they're killer.
Amazing guitars.
That's probably what changed my mind about it, where I'm like, okay, I could see having one of these maybe over like the Player Series.
Classic vibe and a nice little hot rod amp or a little reverb amp, a Blues Junior, something. It's all you need to get going, kids.
Or even like
adults.
That Champion 50 XL.
50 XL, like 29 or something, or 240.
Which is ridiculous.
It was 239. What is it?
Yeah, it's somewhere there. 249,
it's
229.
So good.
It's really good.
I'm a tube amp junkie.
Yeah.
That amp sounds really
awesome.
Good. Yeah, really good. Awesome. I like that word. My cousin is named Awesome.
What?
That's his literal name. His birth certificate says Awesome, and you have to say it with awesome. He's
awesome. Awesome.
He's a financial advisor for Edward Jones in Wilson, North Carolina, and I think on his business cards it says Chris Collins, but his real name is Awesome.
Is his name Awesome Chris Collins?
I think
because
so.
Because
when he was born, like the first words he said were awesome, and like you want to go fishing, awesome,
awesome.
You want to go poop in your pants, awesome. It was like anyway, that's him. If you need help from financial services, he's awesome. Anyway,
I like it.
Yeah, so that was a good pitch for Edward Jones Financial Services in Wilson, North Carolina.
You never know what little nuggets you're going to grab.
You never know. If you're in Wilson and you're looking for some help, that's who you talk to. You can meet him at Bojangles at 8 a.m. in the morning, the one near the old mall. It's probably a church now, as all old malls are, depressingly. Epiphone, now, they've increased their offerings dramatically under the new reign as far as quality goes.
Yes.
The low-end stuff is still in the trash can. But we don't, so we've already said that we just don't consider that part of the fun stuff. When you get to the Jerry James Nickel world,
amazing.
It's like I'd play one of those in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
And even all the flourishes on the headstock looks great. They're doing it right.
Everything's cool.
They're getting the headstocks back to the details.
That whole Inspired by Gibson line is great. I mean,
how much are those 335s? Like $450 or something stupid?
I think so.
An Epiphone, let's just say $500 in that range. What?
Or a killer looking Les Paul. I mean, yeah.
I'm just a 335. I mean, does it sound like a real 335? No. Does it look like one? Yep. And if you're playing in certain venues, that's all that matters. It is. It's like if you got, it doesn't matter.
And honestly, if I got to pick between that or like one of those, what is it, like the Firefly or the Harley Benton, I want the Epiphone.
I don't even consider it the same thing.
That's right. I mean,
it's like when you're like Harley Benton, I was like, why are we even talking about that? I know some.
Never say it.
Yeah. Some people are like, no, they're just as good. I'm like, nah, no, they're not. But it's cool. I like that you think that they're decent. But then that's a whole other video of like, where do you want your dollars to go?
It's true.
To like, do you want them to go to like labor forces that are drastically like different work situations? Like, no, they're great. I'm like, I'm do a little more homework besides like, hey, I use an Apple phone. I know the labor conditions for those places aren't great either, so I can't completely talk. But but let's be real.
However.
But it's an Apple phone. I'm using
That's different.
You call them Apple phones, or should I just call it an iPhone? An Apple product is what I was thinking. I use all Apple products.
I recently made the switch.
I did too, like over the years, and
I'm still on the fence about it.
That's like, well, because you were like one of those like guys like for the Apple phone. The iPhone's better.
I mean, I've always had iPads and MacBooks.
You're just get used to it.
I'm used to it.
The file sharing is so much better.
The file sharing and the camera. I just don't feel like it works as an actual phone as well. But whatever.
How do you need a phone to work?
I just need to be able to like talk to people. I don't know.
My phone works great. You just have bad. You live in like the middle of nowhere, probably. That's why.
I do live in the middle of nowhere.
You're like in a hole, like below Hobbiton. That's where the hobbits live, which I love. Anyway, so should Gibson toy with this idea of building things in Mexico. What do you think?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
I used to think yes.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure anymore.
Have you done a bow face there?
It's tricky because Gibson line, you already got pieces you can reach that price in that $1,000 range.
Because they have the whole tribute series, right?
Where Fender Mexico is drastically caught up with. You know?
That's the thing, right? Like if you, well.
So I know, I'm not sure anymore. That's the discussion. Like, is there something cool about, like, if you buy Gibson, you know it's a piece built in the US of A. And not just for us, like, USA folks, but for people across the world. Some people want to buy a piece of America.
Because it is American sort of, an icon of sort of American culture. I mean, I guess the thing about the Gibson stuff, right, is it is all of it's nitro, right? There is no Gibson.
That's a great point.
Do you know what I mean? Like I mean, there are some things that I think people, as much as we love to hate on Gibson sometimes, there are some things about that entire line that we all say we want and love. But then at the same time, we sort of say, oh, I can't believe Gibson's cost this much. But
you do forget that I forget that all the time too.
You know,
like, everything is nitro.
Everything is nitro.
And
it costs more. That costs more. It does.
And labor cost of USA built things,
it costs more.
You pay more for it, and you are paying for that. And like we've talked with people about, like, well, why would I get Gibson or Fender? I'm just going to get boutique. And that's, I do the same thing. I buy boutique as well. Boutique.
The boutique.
Boutique. Very fancy. No, I do. There's some of my favorite guitars. Like, I'm a huge Echo Park lover. I play those guitars, and like, I think they're phenomenal.
And they're awesome. Yeah.
They're awesome. They sound great, and they play something entirely different. I think there's some other great boutique ones out there too. That's just the one I'm jamming on right now. But when you get into the big brands and stuff, like, you have a history behind it, you have a legacy behind it, and, like, I hate to say it, you have a resale potential that is much higher than a lot of the boutique things.
It's true.
If these boutique things go, or if they're just like not that popular for the minute.
Right.
Boutiques go up and down.
They can be trendy.
It is trendy. The amps, the pedals, the guitars, all of it. That's a whole nother discussion, but that's always so funny to me because it's not like they get better or worse. You know what I mean? They just fall out of public favor or whatever. It's like Mitt Romney. It's like, I love him. I hate him. I remember he was the cat's meow. Then, like, all of a sudden nobody liked him. And I don't know why. I think he seemed like he's such a nice guy from what I've seen. But, like, I'm not talking politics. He just seems like a nice dude.
Probably.
Like, wow. But he was born in the wrong, like, 50 years. It should have been like 50 years prior.
And he basically owns Guitar Center. There you go.
Full circle. I forgot. Yeah.
Full circle.
The Bain Capital thing. Oh, they don't own them anymore.
No, you're right. I hate it.
Hey, never mind. He is the devil.
Screw you, Mitt.
Down with Mitt. Oh, it's so funny. How do we get political all of a sudden? We just did. It
wasn't really political.
I don't even know what politics are.
It was just our unknowledgeable random opinions.
We're idiots. I was always thinking he was like this nice guy. He's something he'd be in a Forrest Gump movie and it's like super solid and nice. And
okay.
Like it's like, hey, I'm just nice guy.
Nice salt and pepper hair.
He's a good looking man too.
He is a good looking man. I don't care what you think.
Who would have thought in Casino Guitars you're having a Mitt Romney breakdown on his attractive hairstylings of the past few decades? Good Lord. What's wrong with us? What were we talking about again?
Squires, Epiphones.
I know that, but
if you are almost changing my mind that maybe Gibson should not make made in Mexico things.
I don't even know how I feel on this anymore. Because, like, I used to think 100% yes.
Well, now, but when
Fender's
you say
price rises, I'm like,
you're like, okay, so some of the made in Mexico.
No, here's where we were. Here's where we
were.
I got it. Because we were talking about, like, people and like, well, why don't you just get boutique?
Oh,
boutique. We went down. It went from like Echo Park to Mitt Romney. That was a weird transition. Because there is an inherently higher resale value with a major manufacturer.
Yes.
Like off the bat with most of them. Some of these do not, like, but it's just, and like we see that on a lot of some of our YouTube comments. We see it all the time. People like, we'll be dogging on the major brands or we'll be dogging on boutiques. But then there's always that common thread of like sense. Somebody will be like, by the way, these have a higher resale. I'm like, yes, you can check Reverb. This gentleman is completely correct. Somebody responded recently, I think in the past couple of days. I haven't responded back to you. I'm going to get to it. But I saw that pop up and I was like, that is a truism. Or maybe I did respond. I can't remember. It's a blur.
I think you have now responded.
I've responded. That's better than me even typing. I just did it with my face, my food hole.
We just start doing that. We just start picking 3 comments to respond to at the end of our videos.
I mean, if you think that'd be fun, like out there in the world, we'll definitely do that. That'd be fun. We talked about, God, just I don't want doing the mean things that people say to us.
Just reading them. We decided it would just be sad.
And yeah, or just people are so mean sometimes. But I'm not sure if Gibson needs to at this point. I think that the prices have risen so much. They have the Epiphone to cover it. I mean, what are they going to do to make a Gibson over? I mean,
there almost isn't a space right now between
Epiphone.
Epiphone and to those tribute series. They're like in that. I mean,
that
there's
is
almost not a hole. Yeah,
I think they've filled that skew. Like their product plan, their placement, and how they've built their business model. It's filled it.
Well, I know I came in hard that yes they should, and I'm also thinking like, is that another spot where they would just be sort of splitting their focus, where we're like, oh, just make these great standard Gibsons. So maybe so. Maybe that would be a lot of,
and that's what JC and the board like listened to, like when like people like kind of were like, stop doing all the dumb stuff. They're like, okay, let's just build what we like, Caesar and all those guys, like, let's just do what we did.
Yeah.
And like, let's do that. Then we can get back to the dumb stuff.
Sure.
Which they're starting to sort of think about, it seems like right now. But they're trying to spend a few years of just getting the basics out, getting it done. And I just don't know if there's a place for Epiphone anymore in that price range. I mean, for Gibson.
For Gibson in the made in Mexico.
And that sort of, it just doesn't. I think Epiphone sort of completely covers that from that $100 to $200 range all the way up to $1,000 and beyond. Because I can't remember what the most expensive Epiphone is, but you can spend a few bucks.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All that pretty stuff you put on it cost more money.
It's true.
But now, would you play an Epiphone or would you play a Squier?
I still think I'm probably going classic vibe.
I don't think I'm still going Squier too, which is funny. It's before though, like 10 years ago, no way.
It was not even a consideration.
Epiphone 100%.
At this point, I would want to play, because I haven't gotten to play enough of the new Epiphones to really have a solid. Like, I would rather have this than a classic vibe.
I just started laughing because I was thinking about our poor editing team that has to like edit this video. I don't know how long we've been talking, but it feels like it's been.
By team, we mean Derek. A team of one.
Team of one. Derek. I call him the team because he has multiple personalities. Like, he's either really happy or really mad with us. And so we call him Team Derek.
It's true.
And then we all walk in there and make fun of him as he's listening to our voices.
Yeah, we don't help. We don't help with the.
Not at all.
No,
that's his job. He has to
kind of poke him.
You poke him.
Poke the bear a little.
No, but it's that's okay though. It's I think Team Squier has done it. The head of Squier development. I know some of those guys too. They're solid cats. They've done a great job. I've really, I'm sad that the prices have gotten so high there too. Like $400 to $450 for a Squier.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money, but it's a good guitar.
But at least it would have been the disaster would have been that happens and then they get here and we're like, oh, underwhelmed. I think across the board we have been.
Yeah, because I've been overwhelmed.
Really, yeah, exactly. Especially with those modern ones like the roasted neck, man. I mean, like that's awesome.
And they play and sound good.
They play and they sound amazing.
The fretwork was good, whereas I can't say the same for all the Epiphones in that price range. They look spectacular, but they don't sound as.
It's always been the feel for me. For some reason, I've just never been able to jive with the feel of some of the Epiphones in the past. Some of the newer ones I've played, the inspired by Gibson stuff, feel way, like those new 335 stuff, feel way better. I would just like to spend more time with them.
I'm not a good enough guitar player to know about the feel of a guitar.
He's not wrong.
Affect anything. I just care how it looks. And if the frets cut my fingers off.
That is all important things.
So I mean, let us know what your thoughts are. Like, if Gibson should toy with the idea of Gibson built in Mexico or Gibson built in Canada.
No, that'd be the ultimate, like.
Whoa, that'd be sweet. Like Fender Mexico, Gibson Canada. Let the two battle.
I don't know why that would make me happy, but it would.
Because Canadians are awesome. Have you seen Strange Brew?
No.
You've never seen the movie Strange Brew?
I haven't.
If you're Canadian, send Jonathan some serious hate mail right now about not seeing Strange Brew.
I'm going to watch it right now.
No, it is one of the great. It's like Wayne's World, but like years before.
Okay.
And it's unreal. It's a great movie. And I love Canadians.
Canadians are great.
I hate that I like them so much. And
I mean, if you really want the bastion of like sort of Canadian culture, you just need to watch Letterkenny.
Oh yeah, Letterkenny, all the way, or South Park.
It's one of my favorite things there. Letterkenny. Oh, it's so.
Oh yeah, sure thing. Oh, did you? Why are you wearing your glasses to a fight? Why are you wearing your glasses to a fight, eh? Uh-huh. Oh, tough guy there, huh? Yeah. Why'd you take your shirt off here? Are we gonna make out? Or are we gonna fight? I love those guys. They're great. And anything can happen.
I kind of want to see you fight Wayne.
No, I can't. I can fight like
No,
Darth.
you'd have to fight Wayne.
Dude, Wayne's serious. I
Yeah.
can't. Wayne from Letterkenny. I'm
Letterkenny.
coming after you, pal.
He's gonna do the thing where he wrote, you know,
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm gonna come after your sister.
stomps you.
And your heartthrob that you broke up or whatever. I can't remember. It's a great show.
That was very sad. It was heartbreaking when he opens that door. Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry.
That's sad. Let us know your thoughts on Letterkenny. I mean, Gibson, Epiphone, Fender, Squier, the Battle Royale. What you would choose. Like, and we go up and down on this. Because I've changed opinions within the past year on Gibson and Gibson Mexico.
There you go.
So, and it could change again tomorrow.
Who knows? It could. Let us know what you guys think. Hit like and subscribe. Click the bell so you don't miss these riveting discussions in the future. We will see you next time.
Or not.